This is an Ellis Mowers and Mower small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's small engine repair, we're going to be looking at these two push mowers that came in for a repair. One of them's a Toro recycler front wheel drive. This one's a Honda HRX 217 with the GCD 190 Honda engine on them. So what these two have going on, I was told this one runs but surges, so we got to fix that issue. Sometimes a surging Honda engine is a little difficult to fix. We'll tackle that one first, and then the other one that we're going to do is this Toro Briggs & Stratton Quantum. Pretty good shape overall. I got to check the blades and everything on it just to make sure they're good, but I think we're just going to knock them out, give them a good service, and all of that good stuff. Y'all have seen riding mower after riding mower, lawn tractor after lawn tractor, whatever your terminology is, probably for the last 2.5 months on here. I have to say this much: it takes a lot to get one of them lawn tractor videos. Number one, fixing them, and then number two, making the videos for them. And the videos have finally caught up. The Poland Pro that I just did, I finished like 2 days before the video came out, and usually I like to stay a week or two ahead. So y'all might see a lot of small repair videos coming up here in the next few weeks, and some a little bit different repair videos coming up here in the next few weeks. So y'all can still have content every Wednesday and Sunday. The riding mowers do really well. I try and get as many of them out as possible. These videos don't have as many views, and so they're just kind of used in the filler. However, I know y'all enjoy seeing repairs of all types of machines, so we're going to take care of these, and in this video we'll hit the Honda first. Hopefully the Honda just needs a carb clean. We'll get that carb off, get it all taken care of, and then we'll move on to the Toro. Hopefully it's just needing a carb clean as well. We'll see. But let's go ahead and get started with the Honda. I'm going to go ahead and tilt it on its side. We're going to get the carburetor off it first. Alright, we're going to get this carburetor off of this Honda first. This is one that's actually got an electric PTO and throttle cable on it. So a little bit different setup, which is kind of, we'll see if that makes it a little bit easier to fix. But when I look in here, I can smell the varnish, so that's not the best, but that's okay. We'll see. Let's see. Got to get that tube off there, and then it's just a bunch of linkages and stuff here that are attached to this 10mm bolt. So hopefully all these will stay on whenever I pull this off. Okay, they do, which is good. All right, looks like somebody's been in this already, because this gas line is not clamped on. Hopefully I'm not getting in y'all's way here. But these are a little bit easier to take off than the older ones, which is good. I love that. So I think that's going correctly. Y'all know these gaskets for these Hondas are sometimes a little bit crazy. Alright, so we got the carb off. And this one's actually got a little adjustable jet on it too, which is kind of cool. It kind of smells like it's got water in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it over and let some stuff run out of it and see what happens. Water-wise, we'll break it open, we'll make sure everything's nice and clean. I'm sure there's a little bit of varnish in it. We'll put it back together, and hopefully everything will be good to go on it. Alright, so let's get into this, see what we've got. 10mm. Curious to see if there's a bunch of water that comes out of this thing. that over here. No, it just doesn't smell the best. I'll be able to tell when I pull the bowl off here. Oh yeah, I'm almost certain to have water in it. Because if you kind of look right there, it kind of looks like, it doesn't smell like fresh fuel either, so, and it bubbles up. So I may have to drain the tank out of the mower, start fresh with some fresh gas as well. But positive news is the carburetor looks super clean in it. So all I'm going to do, I think it just, like I said, I think it just has water in it. So I'll shoot a little spray up into the jet here. Oh yeah, this thing is, there's no issues with this thing. I don't think anyways. I don't know if this can't be aftermarket carb because it's got all the adjustments and stuff on it, and they usually don't. The aftermarket ones usually don't. So I'm going to wipe off the bowl and okay, I'm just going to put it back together. Hopefully that's all we need. Like I said, what I'm going to do as a precaution is drain the gas out of the mower itself. And we'll start some fresh gas. I'll put it back on, see if it runs good. Hopefully it does. See, not everything that I do is hard. I'm not going to say that this is going to fix it, but there's a decent probability that it will. Okay, so another thing I noticed was that it did not have the correct gasket on it either. So this one is not the, well, it is kind of the correct gasket, but what it was doing was you couldn't, get it all past the hole correctly and everything. So let me see. It looks like it's supposed to go like that on the back side, but I can't quite get it going that way, so we're going to try it this way. Because what was happening was they put the front gasket on the back, and so you had a large gaping hole right there where some of the air passages were. So this gets a little tricky, and that may have been the basis of the issue altogether. So what we'll do is we'll put this on like so. Put the gas line back on. Oops. Because these Hondas are super finicky about their gaskets and stuff. So, but let's see. So it's on just like that. Does it go? Which way does the choke go here? The choke will open up with the thermostat, so that should go like that. We can tighten this bolt back up, and we get a 10 millimeter. We'll tighten this bolt back up for the linkages and stuff. That'll help us kind of keep everything in check here too. So now what I can do is take this gasket, make sure I got it the way that I want it, slide or set it down like so, and then take where this gasket is supposed to be and set it right here. Actually, I don't even know if this is the right gasket for this or not. That gasket goes right there. So we're missing. Oh, that gasket's inside. Okay, so they just put the wrong gasket on the back. So let's see. Oh, let's get this over here. See if we can work our magic on getting this getting all of this sorted. I think I need to scoot this over just a tiny bit. These Honda carburetors are like a sandwich. They are sometimes a little bit difficult to put back together. See if you can get. Alright, let's see. So, gotta get it down a little bit. I think we got that one in, potentially. And now we've got to get this other one in. Okay. Alright, I think we got it. So, what I want to see is just the theory of, will it work just with that new gasket on it, on the back, if it runs any better. And I'll also drain in the carb bowl as well. So let's see. Open that up. Gas smells fine, and it didn't beat up like water. I just don't know. It could be just the non-ethanol gas too. You never know. They have a little bit of a different feel to them. So let me pull the choke up, see if it'll start. That fixed that one, which is good. It's ready to go. good. The choke, doesn't seem like the choke is opening fully, but so I may just pull. Man, I hate to pull that stuff back off with it running so good. But I do need to, let's see, I'll make sure I got this correct with the choke. I think I did. It's just the little, these have a little wax thing on them for the thermostat. And so I think sometimes they just don't open as far as they need to. Let me see if this will. So, I mean, I think it's kind of working. It's just not. Opening all the way like it's supposed to. I do have that incorrectly, so it's kind of like, let's see if it'll pull on the slope. Whenever I open it all the way. And it cold started right up too, so that was good. So that's good. I think that this one's pretty much done. I am going to lube the top of this a little bit because it is sticking like a lot of these Hondas do. Do on this side as well. See if it needs an oil change. No, everything looks good. The blade's pretty sharp on it also, so it may have been all it needed was the gasket situation there. Because I mean, y'all saw it cranked on the first pull. It hasn't even hesitated once, except when I pulled it off of choke that first time. But that's pretty typical Honda stuff. So that's great. Let's move on to the Toro next. Well, we'll move on now to the Toro. The Honda's doing great. Let it sit for about 30-45 minutes and it starts right up now. So I think it was just that gasket problem actually. So let it run for a few minutes too, engage the blade, everything's good. This one won't start and this thing's been sitting a while. Because there's the air filter. Woo! Alright, so this one might be fun. It's an auto choke carb, so hopefully, yeah, that's some varnished gas too. Hopefully I can get this thing sorted. Looks like we're going to be pulling the carb off of this one as well. This one probably is not going to be as fun or friendly to fix. However, while we are here, why don't we just at least try to get it started? We'd have to replace the pull rope on this as well, because it is kind of cobbled together. So let's see. Alright, so it will run, which is good. Oil's not bad. Blade. We could probably sharpen it and it'd be okay for a little bit. So, alright, so what I'll do is I'll get this thing, we'll get this thing set up and we'll take the carb off, see how bad it is inside. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get most of this stuff off here, I think. 3, 5, 6, 16ths. Alright, and then the next step is, we need some 3/8. We'll pull that cover off there. Of course, this is one of those covers that has to go through the pull rope, but that's not too bad. Okay. Now we'll take off, because we're going to replace the pull rope as well. We might just see what the carb situation is first before we get into the pull rope. Let me grab my pliers and my let's see, my shut off here. We'll cut, or just plug that off. If we can just take the pliers and then we'll need a 1/4 and a couple of 3/8, and we'll have this thing off. We'll put this one on the bench and see how bad it is as well. So 1/4 inch. Make sure you do not lose the spring up top here for your auto choke. I just did a mower actually that was an auto choke. The guy put a spring that was too tight on it, and choke would never come off. He traded it. He said it needed a new carb. I think I knocked off like $20 or something. Had it fixed in like 5 minutes and got it listed for 120 or something like that. So, alright, so let's see. The gas actually smells okay. I just want to look at it real quick. Okay, that gas ain't too bad. That's maybe okay. I'm going to get on the bench. I need to get a 1/2 inch, pull the bowl nut off, and we'll see how bad it is. Hopefully it's just a clogged carb jet, and we just got to wire it out and be done with it, hopefully. Alright, we'll get the 1/2 inch bowl nut off here. I'm hoping that it's not complete trash. It kind of just looks like a bunch of varnish. Let's look at see if I can get this jet. Okay, I think we can make this work, hopefully. Move this out of the way. Put it right in the gas. Perfect. Alright, so there's our bowl nut. As you can see, we've got a bunch of junk in it. See if we can get this carb off in one piece. Okay. Needle and seat are free, so that's good. And everything else looks alright. Give it a little carb bath. And I'll grab my carb spray and we'll take care of this. So give it a little carb bath, a little bit of wire brush action. I'm going to be careful with the rubber gasket here too. So that's all good. Try not to get it on the gasket because I don't want that thing to swell out. So what I'll do now, I'll let that sit for a second, and then I'll get a wire brush attachment and take care of that. Might put this in the, I could put this in the
ultrasonic too, but I think I can get it clean just doing it this way. So a little bit of wire here, twist it around. Up top, this is where it's plugged, I'm sure. We'll spray it here. See if we've got good action going on. You probably saw the junk come out right there on my finger. That was the junk that was in the jet. You can see it spraying out. So what I'm going to do next is take a little wire brush here, and I know my workspace could be cleaner. Well aware of that. And a rag right here. So try and get all this out. So clean the bowl off some. And we will, I'm just going to wipe some of this down. But what really helps in this situation is I just take this brush attachment, just kind of go around, and there you go. Most of your varnish is gone. Give it a little spritz of carb spray. I'm kind of running out on this one, but kind of wipe the edge off here. The rest of the carb looks good, so and just slap it back on there. And then we've got the gasket that we've got to put on again right there. But what I'm going to do first is kind of give this a little bit of a brush off too. And I'll just do a last little push through with the wire. Okay, I think that'll do it. The gas that's in it actually looks okay. I just think that they had just a little bit of varnish in it. That kind of knocked it down a little bit. I know the body of the carb is not the cleanest either, but I did my best to make sure I didn't get any dirt in there. So I'll take this back over. I'll just go ahead and put it back on. Y'all saw how I took it off. Not too bad. Just make sure you don't lose that auto choke spring and you should be good. I'll put it on. Let's see if it'll run again. Alright, carburetor's back on. I haven't put the air filter or anything on it yet. I just want to see if it'll run first. So let's see. Hopefully it will. I'll have to put this string back in. Alright, let's do it. going to be when I originally pulled that air filter. Man, that air filter though is something else, ain't it? This thing's set up for a while. But hey, it's running good. So put an air filter on it. We'll move on to taking off the shroud so that we can put the pull rope on it. So, and we'll do that here. I'll get everything prepared, and we'll do that here in just a second. All right, we're ready to roll now. .5/16. Usually I just take these 3 off. A lot of times you want to pull these off because these things right here will go everywhere if you're not careful. These little bolts, screws, whatever. Usually what you can do, you can get by with just tilting it back. But there's a 3/8 under here that you can take off if you decide you want to. A lot of times I just let it be. Oh man, I think we've got a little bit of a leak in the carb bowl. We may have to sort that out, which is unfortunate. I don't know if it's coming from the top. Is it coming from the top? Could be coming from the fuel line, actually. Oh well. We'll see if we can sort that. If anything, it's just maybe a gasket or two to sort that out. I may just try and tighten the bolt nut a little bit as well. Maybe that'll do it. We'll see. We've got something to wipe it off with. Anyways, we got a little sidetrack. 3/8, we already got the front bolts off. We'll do the rear ones next. Right here. Whoops. And right here. Alright. So now, let me get the I may have fixed the fuel leak doing that. Pull this off. Usually I just bring the oil dipstick with it. Generally that's easier than trying to take this dipstick off and pull it up. Either way you got to pull it out. So, but here, when you're inside here, what I do is pull it. If you still have the rope in it, grab a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, pull it out all the way. So however far it goes. All the way to the edge. And stick a screwdriver in it, and it'll stay there. Then after that, what I'll do is I'll grab my pliers, my little needle nose pliers, and some cutters, and just cut this off. And essentially what I'll do is take the new pull rope, because they had combined it, looked like it ripped off like right here in the middle, and then they knotted it together to make it 2. So, and this is just one of them generic ones from Lowe's, it looks like. So we'll pull this out as well, if we can. All right, and cut this end off. And pull that out. You can do one of two things. Sometimes I just put the pull rope in and let it wind as far back as it needs to, and then pull it out just a little bit and tie the rope on the end of it. Or you can measure if it's still the original rope and you're just replacing a worn rope. You can just measure out the new rope and replace it with the same length rope like that. Since this one's been compromised or changed out a little bit, I'm going to do the method of taking the old pull rope, or taking the new pull rope, and we'll knot it. So, let me see, are we leaking anymore, or did I fix it? Alright, it appears that I have fixed the leaking issue by tightening the bowl nut, which is great. So we'll get this thing lit up here, burn the end of it, watch the fireworks, take a t-shirt or something, protect your hands, and then we'll feed, what this does is will allow us to feed the pull rope through. Now you get these holes lined up, right? Feed it through, and it's literally that easy, so if you do that. So what I like to do a lot of times is make extra insurance for the knot. We'll pull the knot up as a double, almost like a double knot. So we'll pull that, pull this back, and so that side's good to go. And now what I like to do is release it, because there is enough tension on the spring. If there's not enough tension on the spring, usually what I'll do is I'll wind it, and you'll know if you're going the right way because these teeth will pop out. You wind it to counterclockwise. I usually try and go about 5 times. If it seems like it's really, really stressing after the 4th round, then don't go that far. But what I'll do, we're going to wind this in just like that. And since we have a little bit of an extended pull rope here, that's probably as far as I'm going to go. A little bit of an extended pull rope because we've got the little keeper up there, up top there. Something that I like to do, and it's again personal preference. Now, if it goes right down here to the bottom, and you have to pull it down from the bottom, and you don't have that little bracket thing to pull it, then I don't do this. But I'll give it a little bit of a tail, because you're going to be pulling it from up top anyways, and that way you've got plenty of rope, and you never like pull the end to the extreme and stress out where it meets the pull rope, where the pull rope meets the recoil mechanism. So that's just what I do. I'll leave a little tail on it like this. Again, do the same thing to this side as I did to the other side. We'll get this end nice and hot. And then I'll get the pull handle. Do the same knot as I did on the previous one there. And so what it does is it doesn't go in all the way, but I'll show y'all when you put it on the machine. You'll never run out of pull rope length. So when you put it on the machine, feed it through here, slide this back in. This slides on over here, kind of in between everything. Pop that back in just like that, and There we go. And so we'll put the 4 bolts back on. Let's see. There's 2 of them. Oh, there's the other 2. And then you put the 2 in the back. Last one, or not the last one, number 3 and then number 4. Recommend these 2 if you do it like I do. Get them started by hand so that you don't cross thread them. Then you hit the impact on. We'll put the 5/16 pieces back on. We are not leaking out of the carb anymore, so that's a plus. It's always good when things work out. So we'll put these 3 shoulder bolts back in for the gas tank. And then what happens here is when you pull this back, I'll pull it slowly so it doesn't start. I just hook it on here, and what it does is you've got like infinite pull rope. Like I can't even pull it far enough. Pull rope. Then, so you just got a little tail, a little bit extra if you need it. If you want to get super leverage on it or something like that, then be my guest. But oh man, we've got the carb leaking out a little bit again. After I tried to start it there. Leaking out of the needle in the seat, which is weird. I spoke it into existence, unfortunately. Oh well. Anyways, let me try and start it here. See if it'll run. Carb might sort itself out later. Because the carb runs great, but it's leaking. And it wasn't just leaking just a second ago, which is crazy. But I guess, let's see, where is it leaking from? It almost looks like it's trying to leak out of the fuel line. So I may throw a little fuel line on it just to see if that does anything, because it is a lot of play in it, and it kind of looks like it's coming from there. So fuel line is pretty easy. It's very possible that's what it is too, just with the age of the machine and how long it's been sitting. Because typically it's not going to leak that bad from around the bowl gasket. That's as tight as I want to get that bowl gasket anyway. I'm going to put that fuel line on it. We'll see if that cures the leak. If not, then we will be doing some more carb work. Well, I put it in your air filter in it, and I'll let it run for somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Also went ahead and changed the oil in it just in case. It was a little bit low, and I think it was a little bit old, so and sharpened the blade while I had it tipped over. So this service this thing ready to go, which is good. Self-propel works. I don't know if I showed you all that. But yeah, we're looking good, I think. So, you know, a couple push mowers, custom repairs. I ain't always flipping a bunch of stuff. A lot of this is probably about, I don't know how much of my income, but a lot of the stuff y'all see on the channel, small things like this, really help bring things in throughout the year. The flips are nice. The flips are good for YouTube videos and stuff, but this right here, little small jobs, get people back going quickly, cheaply, and effectively. Alright guys, so there we go. Got these two machines back going again, and they're ready to roll for the guys that brought them. Pretty easy overall. They also brought me a pressure washer that they said was cutting off, but I ended up changing the oil in it and replacing the pull rope because it needed both of those things, and it ended up just being, I guess, because it's ran great. It cleaned this whole area of the concrete. I guess it was just maybe a little bit low on oil, and the low oil switch was kicking in or something. So that's good as well, which is good. I don't see this leaking anymore. This ended up being an easy fix. It just ended up being that they had the gaskets kind of swapped on it, and so that's why it was surging up and down. I put that gasket in there. It's ran like a top. This right here needed a little bit more. We cleaned the carburetor out on it, replaced the air filter on it, sharpened the blade on it, changed the oil, and it's good to go as well. So if anything, I know it's not much here to these videos, but it's just kind of a glimpse into the everyday around here, a little bit more of the everyday. Little things like blades, belts, tune-ups, minor repairs. So a lot of the stuff y'all see are more major stuff that I put on the channel. That's not my everyday. So it's always nice to get a couple push mowers in, get them up and going pretty quickly as well. Maybe spent an hour on them max, and they're ready to rock and roll. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, getting these things back rolling again. I know I didn't do it before on this Honda, but like I said, it was surging up and down, and had to have been because of that gasket situation. And then this one right here, we saw ran on starting fluid, but looked like it has some junk in the carburetor. Sure enough, it did. We cleaned it out, changed the air filter, and sharpened the blade, and changed the oil. And everything of theirs is good to go. So I'll contact them, let them know the bill, and they'll have them picked up, and they'll be back in use either for leaf collection or for washing things, or for next season, hopefully. So thanks again for watching this repair video. I really do appreciate the support on the channel. See a lot more videos coming on non-riding mower stuff here, probably in the coming weeks, as I catch back up with videos and we get kind of in the off season where I don't have as many repairs coming in, and I have more longer term projects that I'm doing to prepare for next spring. Thanks again, guys, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.